Hello everybody, I'm Doug Wright, and this is the March 2024 edition of Sports Done Right. Michael Altshuler once said, "The bad news is that time flies. The good news is you're the pilot." A recent New York Times opinion piece chronicled the journey of a 62-year-old woman who had suffered a heartbreak and was wondering what to do next. She was neither athletic nor outdoorsy, but wanted to do something to break out of her dolorous mental state. Amazingly, she dug up an old bicycle and went biking with a group of 60, 70, and 80-year-olds one day, and she was hooked. She encountered not only better health, but also embraced getting older and achieving fulfillment, both physically and mentally. In effect, she took the controls of her life and continued to bike until she began experiencing symptoms of the Parkinson's disease, which eventually got her. A group studying this and similar phenomena in seasoned citizens has determined that those who have a positive outlook on aging live on average 7 to 7.5 years longer than their counterparts who in effect quit. That in itself is amazing, but is typical of the vast majority of Sun City residents who engage in and are passionate about their sports here. This month, we start with a look at a fly fishing open house hosted by our hunting and fishing club as an example of what residents have available as they take the controls. Well, Bonnie, this is a 2-hour open house sponsored by the Hunting and Fishing Club. And what role did you play in organizing this?
Well, first of all, we are really a SIG of the Hunting and Fishing Club. So that entails general fishing, but we're more of a specialty fishing club. We are strictly fly fishing. And we do have, I believe it's about 96 members.
Okay.
Many of them are not active anymore, but still members. There are probably maybe 30 or 40 active. But there are so many new people moving into the development, especially with the Argent East, West, whatever that is, with the new Argent section. People aren't even aware that we exist, and they're looking for clubs. They're looking for new hobbies, and we thought that we should have an open house so that we can really introduce people to the sport of fly fishing.
And what is your background in fly fishing? How'd you get started? Where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Well, great fly fishing out there.
Yes, central Pennsylvania is incredible. I've always wanted to fly fish, and I worked with a...
Is that because of family or?
No. Actually, my ex-husband's partner used to go off on these fly fishing trips to Canada in remote areas, and I always just wanted to do that. My grandfather used to take me regular fishing as a child, but I knew nothing about fly fishing, so I wanted to get involved with fly fishing, and this coworker said, you can't just go on a trip. You have to really be educated in what you're doing. And I always thought it was it would be a group of men fishing and then smoking cigars and drinking beer, and I thought I would be very intimidated to do that. So I then learned that there are ladies-only classes in fly fishing. So I went to one in Colorado, and I was hooked immediately. And
Pardon the expression,
hooked. Yes. And from there, I learned that there are ladies fly fishing clubs in every state in the country. So I went back to Philadelphia and found that there was a very active ladies fly fishing club, and that was about 30 years ago, and I've been fishing ever since.
Now, have you ever heard of a program called Casting for Recovery?
Yes, yes. A lot of my friends are involved in it in the
Yeah, my
Pennsylvania
wife
area.
actually went to the Lake Logan, North Carolina retreat.
Yeah.
Said it was one of the best experiences of her life.
Yes, yes. It is totally free for breast cancer victims, patients, and it's something that with fly fishing, it literally takes your mind off of the rest of the world while you're fly fishing. So mentally, it's a fabulous program. It gives them encouragement and instruction, and it's just a wonderful program.
Well, judging from your presentation, I can sense your enthusiasm, and the trips you've taken sound wonderful. And I assume that you will get some devotees out of this.
Hopefully, we have a lot of people that did show up today, so I'm happy to see that, and hopefully the club will grow. And it's a wonderful camaraderie because it's so specialized.
Have you taken up cigars and beer?
No, and I do not. Ugh, yeah, I don't plan to.
We'll
No,
probably take that out of the elevator.
I wish there were more women here in Sun City getting involved in it, though.
Well, maybe I'll tell my wife about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Bonnie, and you had a great presentation and a good turnout, so hopefully some good results.
Thank you very much.
Well, Bob Flaherty, you are the founder and chair of the Fly Fishing SIG of the Hunting and Fishing Club. I guess that's the official title.
That is.
Okay, and when did you go about founding this SIG?
Well, I moved in here in '06, and I said, hey, there's no fly fishing down here. And so in 2008, I started up this SIG as a subgroup of the fishing club. So,
And how many members has it grown to?
well, we email 84 members right now. And like the class we're having here right now, there's 32 members in there right now. And
Are these all members, or are there some new people?
these are a fair amount of newbies here. There's a lot of influx in the Sun City. And people are interested in it, and they're retired. They got time on their hands, and maybe they've spin fished all their life, and now there's a new opportunity to learn to fly fish.
And where did you develop your interest? Was it a family thing, and where are you from originally?
I learned to fly fish back right about 1980, so I've been doing this a couple days here. And I went from Illinois, and we would fly fish up in the Wisconsin. It's called the driftless area up there. Where the glacier didn't level the land, and so it's hills and valleys and all this type of things, and plenty of spring creeks and a lot of natural trout there. So, yeah, that's my home waters.
Okay, well that's outstanding, and obviously you've done a good job of attracting newbies. So hopefully the club will grow. You'll take some neat trips.
We've the trip we're taking here, the first one in April here, will be our 46th trip, and we've taken anywhere from 2 people to 12 people on these trips. So it's a lot of fun. It really
Is it typically guided?
We typically do 1 day a guide. When you get on new water, it's nice to know what the fish are on and where the fish are at, and the hazards of the waters and stuff like that. And so so having a guide, a professional guide that knows what's happening, is for your benefit, your safety. Yeah.
Okay, you ever fly fish the streams in North Georgia?
Yeah, we do. We actually fish. There's very few trout streams in South Carolina. There's a few up at the Mountain Rest area, the northwest corner of the state. There's 2 or 3 rivers up there. There's some tailwaters in Columbia that you can fish there, which has a nice assortment of fish. We fish Georgia. We do fish typically North Carolina is the big thing. There's the 26 western counties of North Carolina. Have what they call delayed harvest. So they raise hatchery stock fish, and they put them in there for over about 5 months. And so it's a catch and release. It's a sport. Okay, so we go there, catch 10 trout, whatever, 20 trout, whatever it might be, put them back in the water for someone else tomorrow to play with them. So.
Or catch them again.
Or catch them again if you're back in the game, yeah. So typically the trips are like 4 days to do that. And we fish in the middle of the week. I mean, most of us are retired people. And, these people are working for a living. They're out there beating the water hard on the weekends. And we get the rest of the water for ourselves during the week.
Well, that's a lucky break. That's one good thing about aging.
That's one of them, yeah.
Well, Bob, thanks for your time today. It looks like a wonderful experience. A lot of enthusiasm between you and Bonnie and leading this showcase. So good luck, and hopefully you'll keep enjoying it for years to come.
I hope so, Doug. Yeah, and if people are listening to this broadcast and want to get in touch with me, look in the Hunting and Fishing webpage here, and give me a call, and we can hook up and see what you got. If you're retiring out of the game and you got some equipment you want to sell, barter, or trade, we do that for newbies coming in the game. So thank you, Doug. Appreciate your time.
To do is they need to bend. When that rod bends, we call it loaded. It's loaded with energy, essentially. The next thing that rod needs to do is come to a very abrupt stop. That's going to transfer the energy from the rod into the line, getting that line to roll out.
Like the guy from Corvus was talking.
Yeah, it's a nice way to spend a few hours. That's right.
Casting is just a series from one stop to the other stop. Straight line. I want to hit the dog. And you don't want to do this. This is not good. This is windshield wiper. So you get more power. And as opposed to spin casting,
In Lynchburg. So
you got to pull your line out.
after that, I didn't,
And when he's talking about shooting line,
go out there if you like.
you can shoot line. This is a 5-weight, so it doesn't move. So in saltwater casting, you want to be able to accurately cast 30, at least 30 feet, which is not that hard, because you got to consider you got 9 foot here, 9 foot on the tippet, and your leader, and so you're only going to be casting 22 feet of line, which is pretty easy. Now,
Our team also spoke to Adam Gerlach, head pro at Okatee Creek Golf Club, about the many opportunities for Sun City golfers to work on their game. Well, we are here with Adam Gerlach on a breezy, chilly morning here at Okatee Golf Club. And Adam, you're running a golf clinic today, and what's the topic?
Today's topic is putting.
Okay, and how many of these clinics do you run per month on the average, and what are the subjects of the clinics?
Well, it all depends on kind of what's going on, with tournaments and associations and that kind of stuff. But I do at least 4, about once a week at least. Max would be about 8 if I can. So I'd say the average is anywhere between 5 and 6, depending upon the month throughout the year. And for me specifically, I focus on the short game aspects of the, such as putting, chipping, pitching, and greenside bunkers. That's are all the subjects of my clinics.
Okay, great. And of course, Kevin Foley runs some as well over at Arger, right?
He does. He touches on the short game aspects as well, but he also incorporates some long iron or long game, as you would, clinics such as irons and driving, fairway woods, and hybrids kind of stuff.
Okay. And just in general, how do you get information about these clinics, and what do they cost?
Sure. Well, we blast it out in the newsletter. So that's in the Sun City Golf Club newsletter. That goes out to all golf club members, Sun City Golf Club members, twice a month. So it's always in there. However, we also have a calendar of events on our website. If you go to golfinsuncity.com, click on events, you'll be able to see the calendar, and we generally try to keep at least 1 month on there, and then at about the middle of the month, we'll put the following month on there, and that shows all the associations, tournaments, but it also has all of our clinics and fitting events and all that stuff with details below as well.
And how much would it cost me to get a session, and how long are the sessions?
Yeah, so to sign up, you just call the hosting pro shop. So if you see that the clinic, a putting clinic, is at Okatee Creek, for example, you'll just call the Okatee Creek Pro Shop to sign up, or at least get put on the wait list if you and don't be shy of doing that, by the way, because there's several cancellations throughout the week. They fill up fast, but don't be scared to put your name on the wait list. So you call the Pro Shop to sign up, and they'll have the list of all the clinics at that golf course. And the price is only $15 per clinic.
Okay, which is less than a private lesson, and it's a group lesson. And how many people do you usually get?
Well, it depends. My max for chipping, pitching, and greenside bunkers is 5 people. That's usually just due to space. And in putting is 3. And that, again, is due to space. We don't want to take up too much room of the putting green and the practice areas when we do this.
And what would you say would be the biggest issues that you face with a varying set of skills and experience among your clinic attendees?
Well, probably the internet. A lot of people search the internet for tips, for golf tips. So a lot of times when people come to my clinic, they generally try to tell me something that they learned online via YouTube, which can be helpful depending upon the teacher you're looking at there. But that's not hands-on, so it's a little difficult for most people to kind of understand and grasp the concept of the video because they're trying to mimic it without actually having that instructor physically showing them how to do so.
Yeah, I would guess that. And also, do these people know each other, or are they all strangers, or how's that work out?
Well, most of the time, we have a couple of people who pair up, so they'll sign up as a group of 2. I actually have this week, I have a group of 4 or 5 guys that all play together, that all signed up for the same clinic. Which is kind of rare. So most people either sign up as a single or they'll bring a friend or a spouse with them to join.
Well, you guys do a great job with these clinics, and in fact, I may start taking them myself. How would you contrast that with private lessons?
Sure. Well, clinics, again, are group-based, like you said. They're not individually focused. So I have to go around for 5 people. I can't focus on one person kind of a thing. So it basically, clinics touch up on the fundamentals, the basic fundamentals of a putting stroke, a chipping stroke, a pitching stroke, all that kind of stuff. But a private lesson is more individualized to where I can really focus on the mechanics of your golf swing during chipping, pitching, and putting, where I can't really do that. I can't guarantee you that in a clinic because it's a group atmosphere. We're all trying to learn the same thing together, and I have 5 people to kind of go back and forth to versus me being with you as an example by yourself for 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for your time today. We're going to try and take a panoramic view of what you're trying to accomplish in a little bit here when people start showing up. And as I say, thank you for your time and your expertise.
Always. Thanks, Doug.
The spring softball season has begun, but we would be remiss if we didn't cover the recent championship captured by the men's 70-plus travel team. Let's hear all about it. Well, Tom, John, thanks for coming in this morning. We are here, and we're going to talk a little bit about travel softball and the 70 years and older team, which had some recent success. And Tom, you're the manager of the team, and how'd you get stuck with that job?
You're putting it stuck. But before I even start, I just would like to thank the softball club itself. There's a lot of support that we've gotten over the years. I've been involved with it for a good 15 years, and between the membership, I have to say they're supportive. And there's many facets. Most people know the softball club is Hot Dog Day on Tuesday, quite popular throughout the whole community. But to answer your question, managing, everybody took 2 steps back, and I was there. I don't hear that well, so I've been managing now for just about a year, and I'm happy to say we had some good results over the last year itself. And this tournament here was down in Tampa. It's the ISSA, which is the International Senior Softball, and teams from all over the East Coast. Well, actually, the East Coast come to Myrtle Beach, Tampa, and we travel, hence the travel team. And we had a successful tournament, and very happy to say we cleaned up. We won the whole. It was actually a ring tournament, which brings teams from Tennessee, North Carolina, New York, Long Island, and we had to rise to the occasion. But it was a very good tournament, and I'm happy to be here talking to Carl and telling you the team. Okay. Well, John, you are one of the players on the team.
Yes, definitely.
And can you tell me a couple of things? Number one, what is your background in softball? And obviously you grew up playing sports. And secondly, how you got involved with this particular team.
Well, I played softball as a young man, right out of the service, played in a very competitive league in Pittsburgh, and, my 30s, got away from it, had children, and, those things that you had to do. So when I came to Sun City, I was actually being shown around here by a friend of mine. And we went past the softball field. And this place, I saw it for the first time, was amazing. And I said to her, do they have softball here? And she said, well, softball was really big here. So I made the inquiries and got asked to come to instructional, and instructional led to getting on a team, and getting on a team led to, performing and getting, noticed by some of the travel boys, and they asked me to come and play, and here we are.
Now, how many guys are on the team?
What, 15?
Well, we carry 20 on the roster, and typically we go down with about 15, 14, 15, 16, depending on schedules. Us older guys sometimes have other conflicts, so we do our best to bring down a few extra players to field.
Well, probably a cribbage tournament gets in the way, right?
I'm sorry?
Probably a cribbage tournament or something gets in the way.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, tell us about the tournament, Tom. Exactly how many games did you have to play, and how things developed?
Well, it's a little demanding. That's why we typically bring down extra players. But we play in a three-day tournament, and the first day you play at least 2 games. And then what happens, you get caught up into the winners-losers bracket, so sometimes you're forced to play 3 or 4 games in a day, which is pretty remarkable. But over the course of a tournament, you can play 6, 7, 8 games in a 3-day span. And it's very competitive. It's very competitive. And I have to say, I started out with the 55 team when I first moved to Sun City. And, playing with the 70s now, it gets a little emotional because you're coming to where we don't have a 75 travel. So
That was going to be my next question.
So, winning the 70s, it was pretty special for a lot of the players. It's been a little bit of a dry spell the last year, and to come away with this one, it was a lot of team effort. I could name every one of them and tell you every one of the players contributed to this effort. So it was very rewarding.
Excellent. And John, why don't you show off some of the stuff that you got here? You got plenty of stuff going on here, and
Yes, absolutely. The ISSA gives you certain things when you are in first place. We got this lovely ring here. We have our jackets, and this was given to me by our manager for my performance in the tournament. And always, you can look at it and say it's kind of, this and that, but I really dig it, and I'll cherish it.
well, that's terrific. And very few people, I think, really know what it takes to be on a travel team. It must be some kind of financial burden as well. Is there a financial burden?
There's no question, but before we go there, John's a little modest, but the ISSA has different tournaments. Some give out a T-shirt, but this tournament here was a ring tournament, which, like I said, it brings teams from all over the East Coast to compete in. There was an MVP, and there's 3 All-Americans, and John, let's just say, rose to the occasion, batted at least 750 in the tournament. A lot of key hits, key catches. And The question was?
Well, there's no question. There's basically all performance-based, John. Congratulations.
I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you because you did ask me the financial burden, which takes a little extra to put this together. So you're talking 3, sometimes 4 nights stay in a hotel, travel expenses. The club itself gives us the initiation fee, which is just a partial, but the extra expenses could be upwards of $500 to $700. But it's the dedication that that brings us together. Is the camaraderie of this travel team is above and beyond.
And how many other travel teams are there?
I think there's a 60 and a 65. I don't know that there's an over 55, but there's 60, 65, and 70. And I think they're double A's and triple A's. But let me first say that I would be remiss if I didn't point to him and tell everyone that he was extremely instrumental in this win. I mean, he organizes practices. He makes sure that the talent that he has on the field is where they're supposed to be. He's got to go over lineups. He's got to make sure runners are there. I mean, this guy is constantly doing stuff, and without that, we may not make first place. So it's his dedication that keeps, us, in the forefront on these tournaments.
That's our show for March 2024. 2 takeaways. Have a positive outlook on the process of aging, and remember, you are the pilot. I'm Doug Wright, and I'll see y'all next month on Sports Done Right.
Sun City TV is keeping Doug as busy as possible. It keeps him out of trouble. And he and SCTV could use your help. We need those action shots and Kodak moments that happen every day here in Sun City. Since Doug can't be everywhere, think about when you're out on the courses, the courts, or the field, putting that phone to good use and snapping those shots of your favorite athletes. To get a TV-worthy shot, here's a quick TV camera lesson. Most importantly, hold your camera for a landscape, not portrait orientation. A good comparison to help you remember, think hamburger, not hot dog. Got it? To click it up a notch, here's some other hints. For a video, lock those elbows or stabilize against a solid surface. That way no viewers get motion sick. Pan slowly, that motion sickness thing. Shoot with your back to the sun and bright light. Check your background, frame your subject, and zoom with your feet, which means get closer. Then get those visuals ready to send to SCTV. Format those pictures and videos as MP4, MOV, JPG, JPEG, and HEIC. Send your photos and videos with a brief description of the event details and identify persons when possible. Email them to suncitytvhh@gmail.com and watch for your first TV photo credit.